So as you guys probably saw in the title of this video, this was not my best month reselling ever, but I did still sell a lot of great items. So let's get into it. Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Erlia, otherwise known as martziechic, and I am a full-time clothing reseller, and this whole channel is just about thrifting, reselling, entrepreneurship, and everything in between. So if you like the sound of that, make sure that you go and hit the little subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell right next to it. And while you're there, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up down below for the YouTube algorithm and supporting my channel. If you guys are new here, I just went full-time into reselling over the summer here, and I have a whole playlist for you. If you want to see how I've gotten here, you guys can go and check out that playlist. I will leave it linked above and down below for you. Additionally, if you want to know all of the things that I've learned throughout this process, I have a separate playlist called the Reseller Toolbox for you more advanced resellers looking to see what I've learned in these videos if you don't want to watch through them all. So today I'm going to go over my goals, numbers, and then obviously what sold best and worst. So I'll leave some timestamps for you guys down below if you want to skip over everything, but let's get to it. So as I mentioned, this past month was actually not my best month reselling, and I was short about $100 from last month's goal, and last month was my best month reselling. The reason for me mentioning this is to explain to you guys and keep reinforcing that progress is not linear. I was doing some different things this month that I think is worth having a lower sales month because I was super duper consistent. Also, I don't know how any of your months were reselling last month, but if you want to leave me a little comment down below if they were good or bad, that we can get a good gauge on how everyone else's months were doing. But I just know for me that it was a slow but consistent November. The first thing that I was doing differently this past month was almost exclusively, minus one video that I filmed, sourcing from the Goodwill outlet. I think that this was a good move for me because I'd been finding some really good things and wanted to make sure that I had a lot more listings in my closet. However, those high profit items just were not there for me this past month. Additionally, I was putting some more focus on different things like this YouTube channel, and also I've been taking some online courses in coding for a special project that I have coming up as well. So honestly, I think all of these are good steps to be made. I was spending less on inventory, I was learning new skills and getting educated, and then also I was building this new revenue stream and community here on YouTube. That being said, however, this next month, I do not want to be exclusively sourcing at the Goodwill outlet. I noticed a few days that I was really struggling to find inventory, and the stress being in the outlet really does get to me sometimes. So that is just something that I kind of struggle with personally, and so I'm not going to be sourcing at the bins as much. Additionally, I do want those more high profit items, and right now I am a little bit more flexible on how much I can spend on items. I also know that building this channel is just going to take time and it's not going to happen overnight. So by pushing myself to film, upload, make sure that I have video ideas, some days is not the best thing for me because it can cause me to really stress out about creating content rather than creating quality content for you guys. So I just want to keep that in mind too, because I definitely want quality over quantity here. And lastly, educating myself takes up so much time. I don't know if any of you have taken coding classes or maybe you're in computer science, but for me, coding is a brand new language and I am still just a beginner learning it. And the last thing that I want to mention before I go over my numbers here is that this past month, I cleared out a lot of old inventory. I was dropping offers constantly, weekly, daily sometimes, and so I was definitely moving some older inventory that I had paid little to nothing for that just needed to be moved along. So I think that's a good thing because it makes some new room for things. But again, it was just a very slow but consistent month. I have how I did in front of me, and I will be screenshotting a picture of my current spreadsheet to show you guys from November. But this past month, I'll start with Poshmark. Poshmark was my main selling platform per usual. My average profit was $29.20, which is a lot lower than last month. I had 120 sales though, and my gross sales were $5,364.40. And actually, I don't don't know if I should be calling that gross sales because that took out the platform fees, but then my net sales, so everything that I'm taking home before taxes, was $3,036.70. You guys know, if you've watched these What Sold videos before, I usually stay around this $3,000 mark for Poshmark. I don't quite know why I can't get over it. I'm thinking it's just because I keep a relatively similar amount of listings in my closet. So I'm thinking maybe next month that I should start increasing the number of listings that I'm putting up by sourcing online. But that's a whole different thing altogether. We'll just keep into the numbers here. And then something new that I've been calculating for my platforms and my growth has been average profit margin. This just takes into account how much you paid for an item and what you ended up getting paid for that item after platform fees for me. So my average profit margin on Poshmark was 73%, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. Again, this past month I was mainly sourcing from the bin, so I thought that this was a really great number to hit. Now let's move on to eBay, however. So you guys know I have been getting a lot more high profit sales on eBay than I have on Poshmark. I actually am looking back on this now though, and I think it's just because at the beginning I was only cross-listing my high profit items. Now I think everything in my closet is pretty much evened out, but I'm still making a higher average profit on eBay. So my average profit on eBay was almost $10 higher than Poshmark, and it was $38.70 an item. I thought that this was really good. I really want to stick to this or higher on there, so that was great. And I made 30 sales on eBay. My gross sales on eBay were $1,321.50. I'm still just getting started. I am really proud of this number. And again, this next month, I really want to increase the amount of listings I have. So hopefully that will get me a boost as well. My net sales then, after my cost of goods and everything before taxes, was $1,084.20. And then my average profit margin on eBay was amazing, and it was 83.5%. I really loved this. This was great for me because I know the majority of what I was making on there was profit. But then also this month, in terms of profit, I did decide to add YouTube to my chart. This is purely just ad revenue, so no affiliates, no sponsorships, no nothing like that. This past month, and these are kind of cool, so I'm just going to share this with you guys. If you want to skip over this, that's totally fine, but in the last 90 days I grew a lot on YouTube, and especially in the last 30 days my channel grew a lot as well. So this past month in views, I had over 14,000 people watch my videos. I can't believe that. This is so cool to me, and it's just amazing that so many of you actually watch my videos. So thank you if you are currently watching this video. I had over 2,400 hours in watch time, and my subscribers grew 369 people. So if that is you, hello, I am so grateful to have you here. And then I made just under $250 in ad revenue. So if you guys didn't know, resellers do make a little bit more in ad revenue than other people on YouTube do, like vloggers or things like that. YouTube has been super encouraging to me in terms of the people that I've met on here, but also just getting to create different content and express myself in a different way that I hadn't before. So thank you for all of your support on my channel. I appreciate you very, very much. But now, for the moment you guys have probably all been waiting for, I want to tell you what sold this past month. So I have 3 of my worst sales and 15 of my best sales this past month to give you some variety and different things that have sold for me. I hope this helps you. Let's get into it. So this month I actually did not lose any money on any of my sales. So the 3 worst sales here are just because they made extremely low profits for me. This first one was this Lovers and Friends floral little halter crop top. This I paid $12 on Revolve like over a year ago, and it just finally sold for $20. I wasn't happy about this offer, but at the same time, this had been sitting in my inventory for quite some time now. So I did decide just to get rid of it and move it along. So I only made $2.50 on this sale. Overall, I just didn't make a lot of profit, and it took too long to sell, so I don't think that'll be sourcing online from Revolve anytime soon. The second worst sale that I had this past month were these Zara wide leg chiffon pants. Obviously, as you guys can tell, I probably could have taken better photos of them. I found these from the bins though, and these have been sitting in my death pile for so long that I did just decide to throw them up on my wall, take a photo of them, and be done. And these only sold for $9. I paid $2 or less from them at the bin, so I just kind of rounded to $2. So I did make $4.05. This was actually a fast sale for me, but to only make around $4 on an item, it's just not a place I want to be. I do have a few more Zara pieces from that Goodwill outlet haul, so I might liquidate those somehow, but I'm not quite sure yet how. And the third one I want to share with you guys is actually not a worst sale, but a worst bundle. I have not had a bundle this low in a while, but it was actually because I paid up for one of the items in this bundle. So the first part of this bundle was an Issa and Ella tie-dye long sleeve. This I paid $2 for at the bins, which was fine. But then the second item here was a sweater I paid up for online a while ago, and I paid $16.50 for that, and a lot full of other things. Some of them were higher end, some were lower end, and this was on the lower end side. This bundle only ended up selling for $29, so I only made $3.20 on these two items. So I guess technically this bundle had my lowest sales of the month in it, but this is just a great example that everyone has bad sales months, and these things happen. Sometimes you just want to move inventory along so you can find other things to list and just keep your reselling business going. These were my worst this past month, but I guess we'll talk about the best ones now. So these were my top 15 best sales of the month. I'm going to be going low to high here, so if you guys want to skip forward a little bit to my best sales, you absolutely can. But the first one I want to talk about is number 15. Let me scoot over. This was a Lovers and Friends yellow kind of silky maxi dress. I think it was just a poly blend, but it was really, really pretty. I ended up paying $10 for this, and it ended up selling for $75 for an event someone was going to. So that means I made $50 on this dress. I was actually shocked that this sold for $75, but again, since it sold on Revolve, I think that's kind of why. I had those nice stock photos up front, and that's why that sold pretty fast. Number 14 on the list here was an eBay sale. I sold these Lululemon Dance Studio pants in a 6 tall. I mentioned these in a previous haul, and as you guys can see, my photos are not great on these by any means, but Lululemon is notorious for attacking eBay sellers and making sure that their listings go down. So I didn't want to use a stock photo for this one, and also I was taking this at night, so I really didn't have a good option here. But Dance Studio pants are pretty high in demand actually. So if you ever find yourself debating whether or not you should get these kind and style of pants, absolutely do pick them up. I paid $2 for these at the Goodwill outlet, and I sold them for $60, which means that I made $50.20 on this sale, which was excellent, and I am so glad to see them moving. Up next was a Poshmark sale. These were a pair of Doc Martens steel toe boots. If you follow me on Instagram, I did post about these with a link, and I ended up getting a lot of attention on them. I paid $42 for these boots online retail arbitrage, and I sold them for $120 on there, which means that I made $54 overall. I thought that this was great because this item was just shipped to my house. I didn't have to worry about it, and I actually did pay a pretty reasonable amount for these. If you guys ever see Doc Martens in your local buy-sell trade or thrift store now, they've been marking them up like crazy, and I think it's just because they do have a really high resale value online, so they think that people will pay that in person. I personally would never pay that in person, but I think that I got these for a steal, and I just know that this person was going to love these, so I was excited to see them go. Number 12 on the list was another eBay sale. This was something that sold literally within an hour or two of me listing it from the Goodwill outlet. This was a Byford London 100% cashmere vintage quarter zip. I found this with a whole bunch of other things that were pretty much brand new vintage, but I paid $2 for this. It felt so soft, and someone instantly gave me an offer on this for $65, and I accepted, which means that I made $54.60 just on this sweater. It was new with tags, so I don't know if that was it, but I've been selling a lot of cashmere pieces as well, so those are still some things that you'll want to look out for in the spring. The next sale here, I would say, isn't one of my favorite sales, but it is still number 11 on this list somehow. This was a Veronica Beard 100% Silk Dakota mini dress. This was a purple plaid mini dress. I paid $75 for this on The RealReal, and it sold on eBay for $150. After fees and everything, I made $55.50. The only reason this isn't one of my favorite sales to date is because I made less than I actually paid for the item. I usually try to split it 50-50 or more, and this actually didn't fall within my expected profit margins for eBay and actually dragged it down a little bit. I'm always happy to make $50 or more on a sale though, so that is why I ended up accepting this, because I had this listed at a significant higher amount than this. So I was just excited to get it moving, especially in the winter here. I think dresses like this probably have the chance to wait a little bit longer, so I did just accept that offer and move on. The 10th sale on this list is a dress with a buyer that left me a super sweet love note. This was a Love and Lemons black sequin mini dress. Forgetting the style right now, but I paid $30 for this at the buy sell trade store, and it ended up selling for $108, which means that I made $56.40 on this dress. Again, I was so ecstatic about the sale, and the buyer was so nice. I do get excited when I find nice pieces and nice customers to go with them, so I'm really hoping that they're still loving their dress. The 9th sale here was also another mini dress, and it was this Love Shack Fancy floral mini dress. I actually ended up seeing this on TikTok, which is why I think it was more popular, because people were looking for this style, but I only paid $2 for this in the Goodwill outlet. Blew my mind. Someone put this back actually, and it ended up selling for $75, which means that I made $56.50 on this sale. This was such an outstanding item to find in the Goodwill outlet, and that's why I've been trying to go back some more, because I've been finding those higher end items. This is one of them, and I was so excited to see this go. I think I only had this marked up a little bit more than this, so when I got the offer for $75 in Poshmark, I accepted it, and I was so happy about the sale. The next item on the list for my best sales of this past month were these Freebird calf hair booties. I paid up for these $135, and I ended up selling them for $245. It's just under what I really wanted to make on these boots, but that's okay. I still ended up making $61, and I got these out super fast, and these were within a few days of me getting these in, so I was excited to make the sale pretty quickly. The 7th sale on this list actually surprised me. I ended up picking up this Andrew Marc puffer coat at the Goodwill outlet. So again, around $2 average. I did wear this for a little bit because I just personally found it cute, but I did have it listed. It ended up selling for $88 on an offer to Liker. I was shocked. I was actually shocked that this sold that fast, but it did. So I ended up making $65.90 on this sale. I was kind of sad to see this coat go, but I already do have a winter coat, so I just decided to send it out and honor that sale anyways, and I'm really glad that I did. The next item high up here on the list of things that sold well this past November, you probably recognize from one of my last vlogs when I found a new bolo. These are the bolo. It was Max Mara. I did end up taking an offer for these boots because they've been sitting for a week or two, and when I got the offer, the buyer was super sweet. I was just like, you know what? We are letting these go. So I only paid $20 for these at the buy sell trade store, and they ended up selling for $120. Which means that I made $76 on the sale, which I love. I love when I make that much money on just one sale. So I wrapped these up all nice and got them sent out to the buyer. I, again, was just so excited that I even found these. So these were a great sale. You guys know I have an addiction to selling Golden Goose sneakers when I can find them at a good price. These were no different. These were a Golden Goose Francie sneakers, so they're a little bit higher, and they have palm trees on them, and they also have a little bit of distressing. I paid $180 for these, and I ended up selling them for $325, which means that I made $80 on these sneakers. Anytime I can find Golden Goose under $200, I do pick it up because it is a constant seller for me. I got this pair off of the Real, which I would suggest to anyone because they already come in pre-authenticated. So if a customer does have an issue and claims that these are unauthentic, you already have that little piece of paper that says, hey, no, these are already authenticated. So if they open a case and you get the chance to send in a photo to Poshmark, you can just take a picture of that little sheet. So I do save all of my sheets from the real if I'm purchasing on there, just in case that ever happens, because I would never want someone to think that I'm selling them something inauthentic. There also are a ton of other authenticators, so if you're finding a designer piece for a really low cost, you might want to spend the $30 or $40 to authenticate the item just to make sure that it actually is what you think it is. The fourth best sale then after that were these Fry cow print, like calf hair cowboy boots. These were adorable. I love these from the minute I set my eyes on them, and obviously a lot of other people did too. I paid $55 for these at my local buy sell trade store, and they ended up selling for $170. So I made $81 on this sale. I cannot say enough about how obsessed I was with these boots. These were gorgeous, and I am so excited for this person to wear them out. The next sale actually might surprise you guys. It was an eBay sale, and this was a men's item. I rarely ever sell men's items, but I ended up finding this red Burton patchwork ski and snowboarding coat at the Goodwill outlet. So again, it was around $2. And I knew from the start of seeing this, it only had a little bit of wear on the sleeves. I thought it was in really good condition. I know when I bought my own Burton coat, it was around $120 at a local store, so I know that people do pay quite a bit of money for these. I ended up selling this for $98 on eBay, so I made $83. This is a great sale. I cannot speak highly enough about it, so I was very excited to see this go and see it go pretty fast. I think this only took a week or two to sell. My last two best sales of the month were actually tied in terms of profit, so I'm going to be mentioning both of those now. The first of which was this Reformation Winslow maxi dress. If you follow my Instagram, you know that I found this dress for such a score. It was only $13 at the local buy sell trade store with the tags on it. I ended up selling it for $125, which means that I made $87 on this sale, which I was stoked about. I did have this marked up a little bit more, but when the offer came in, I was just excited to see it go. And things like this are really easy to ship because they do fit within those 12x8 bags, which makes shipping a lot faster for me. So yeah, this dress was gorgeous. If you ever find Reformation wrap dresses, those are always super popular. And the final best sale, again, that was tied to the last one here, was this Love Shack Fancy Nua Tags cardigan. This had kind of like a terry cloth detailing to it, and I actually still do have another one in my closet. I actually won an eBay auction for this one, and I think I paid $90 for it. And I ended up selling it for $200, which means, again, after fees, I made $87 on this sale. So this was a good one. I was really worried that I paid too much for these cardigans, but after seeing a profit like that and it being tied with my #1 sale of the past month here, I was very excited to see it go. So as you guys saw, I didn't have any crazy sales this past month, but I think consistency was key here, and I was listing daily to make sure that I was on top of things. Again, I don't know if this past month was just a slow month overall or if it was a slow month for all of us on Poshmark. I'm not really sure, but this really does encourage me more to keep diversifying what I'm doing in my reselling business, making sure I'm educated on this new venture that I'm taking in my reselling business, but also making sure I'm cross-listing and also finding other streams of revenue. I wholeheartedly believe that reselling can be a full-time income for anyone as long as they are willing to work at it, find consistent streams of inventory, and make sure to make consistent sales and be consistently listing. I think all of those things are important and anyone can do it, but say I have a slow month, I don't want to just rely on my profits from that past month. I want to make sure that everything's kind of split out. So if my Poshmark Classic goes down overnight, I want to make sure that I can still rely on eBay and on YouTube and on other things to make sure that I can still pay my bills. Any of these platforms could take down your account for any reason, so just making sure that you have a lot of different sources of income will protect you long term. So that again is what I'm going to be continuing to work on this next month, and being consistent in my listings per usual. Even now, it has been the first week of December so far and things have been slow, and I think that's just because people are spending a lot of money in December and they're trying to cut out on regular expenses like clothing. So I've been trying to get blankets listed, home goods listed, and all of that. So hopefully it's another good month and consistent month. But let me know down below how this past November was for you guys down in the comments. And also, if you did enjoy seeing what sold, make sure to also give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you've watched this far and aren't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!